Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. For this vlog, we are back in the kitchen and we're gonna make some goodies. We have two things that we're gonna make. What are those two things, Mary?
So first we're gonna start the cookies and then we're gonna make the chocolate cake.
Yes, so we have sugar cookies and we have chocolate cake. We have some guests coming over, so we decided that we would make something for them. So let's go ahead. We're gonna first start with our sugar cookies and then after that, we're going to make the chocolate cake, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for our sugar cookies, we are going to be needing some flour, sugar, an egg, butter, baking powder, salt, and vanilla. So we're gonna mix all of our dry ingredients together. So that's gonna be the flour, the baking powder, and the salt. So we sifted our flour and now we're gonna add the baking powder. And the salt. We're going to actually set our dry ingredients aside.
And do our wet ingredients?
Yes, we're going to start our wet ingredients. So we're going to grab another bowl. We're going to start whisking the butter with a handheld mixer, and then gradually Mary's going to help me add the sugar in. So I'm going to show you guys how it looks before we add in the egg and the vanilla and everything. So let's go ahead.
Can I add in the egg?
Yes, you can crack in the egg. So this is what it looks like. It's just sugar and butter mixed together. So once you kind of see it in this form, you can go ahead and add in your egg and vanilla. Very nice. Good job. We're going to go ahead and add in our vanilla. I'm gonna beat it a little more until all of it is nicely mixed together, and then we'll fold in our dry ingredients. Same thing with your dry ingredients, you wanna add it slowly, like we added our sugar slowly. Basically how you do it, you take your spatula and you kind of mix everything together and press. You mix and you press down in the middle. So this is how you fold everything together. Okay, so we have about this much flour left. And what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna use my hand to knead it and to kind of see the consistency like that. So this is where we're at, and we have this much flour, so I'm gonna use my hand now to mix everything together. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and do the same like hand movement and gesture, but with my hand. Okay. Now we're going to store it in the fridge, and the way you want to do that is I kind of made my sugar cookie into this shape right here, kind of like a log. And what you want to do, you want to split it into two parts equally, cut it into two parts.
Make sure it's equal.
Then what you want to do is we're going to flatten this out a little bit before we store it in the fridge. A little disc like this. If you see, it's still thick on the sides. You don't want it to be very thin. And yeah, so this one is ready. I'm gonna put this here. And now I'm gonna work on my next one. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this in the fridge, and I'll be right back, and we're going to start the chocolate cake. Alright guys, so we have all of our ingredients ready for our chocolate cake. So for this chocolate cake, you're going to need cocoa powder, sugar, flour, vanilla, baking powder, baking soda, eggs, some espresso, vegetable oil, milk. You can also substitute it with buttermilk, coconut milk, or almond milk. Yes, we have two 10-inch pans. I already prepared them. And then my oven is already preheated at 350. So all we have to do is combine all of these ingredients together, which we're going to do now, and pop it in the oven and wait for it to bake. Okay, so since this recipe has baking soda, when you bake with baking soda, you taste it. So what you want to do is you want to dilute it a little bit. I'm taking my milk. I'm gonna put my baking soda in there. I'm gonna put a little bit of white wine vinegar in my milk. Baking soda. Now we're going to add the baking powder and the salt. Go ahead, add it in. And with the whisk, we're just going to kind of mix our dry ingredients. We're going to set aside our dry ingredients, get a bowl for our wet ingredients. Crack it in. Okay. Very nice job. And then the second one. And then we don't need to do anything step by step for this one. We're just going to dump all of the wet ingredients in there. Add our milk and the oil and the vanilla. We have a bigger bowl and we're going to add our dry ingredients first. Just going to toss it in there. And then we add in our wet ingredients. And we whisk on a medium speed. Make sure you get it on the sides, okay?
Okay.
Parchment paper. I'll hold it and you push it. You're welcome. I'm gonna start pouring in.
We use the water dishes. Just use more dishes than the last one. I know why you're only adding it that much. Because if you add it the full way, it's going to rise even more. Always go out of the pan. So be very careful.
We're gonna cook it for around 30 to 35 minutes and then check it with a toothpick to see if it's ready. Our cakes are all baked, ready and done. So now I'm gonna go ahead and make the frosting before we do the cookies. So Mary actually went upstairs. She wanted to go play, so she's gonna do that while I go ahead and make the frosting. We're gonna make a chocolate buttercream frosting. So we're going to need some cocoa powder, butter, another teaspoon of espresso, vanilla extract, and confectioner's sugar, and milk. So we're gonna go ahead and add our cocoa powder into our big bowl. And you wanna go ahead and whisk it so you can take out any big lumps. It's all whisked and nice and smooth. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my butter and mix it with my handheld mixer before I add all the other ingredients. Add in our vanilla. I'm going to add in the espresso. So I'm gonna kind of crush it a little bit. And now for the confectioner's sugar and the milk, what you want to do is you're not going to dump the whole confectioner's sugar in there and then the milk. You want to do it by parts. So you'll put like a tablespoon of the sugar, a little bit of the milk. You're going to mix it in that order. I'm going to put the frosting in the fridge, and then what I'm going to do after that is frost the cake. And we're gonna go ahead and cut our cookies and frost them as well. We're gonna make royal icing for that, which is the sugar cookie icing. Hi, Mary.
Is Mom here?
No.
Oh, okay. Can you call me when you make the sugar cookies?
I'm going to start making
Cheese.
Okay, sounds. So what I'm doing now is when you stack your dough on top of each other, you want to wait a little bit when you take it back out of the fridge for it to come down, not exactly to room temperature, so you can take the two pieces off of each other. That's why you want to make sure that you put a parchment in between both. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just gently taking it off. Just like that. And I'll work with this one for now. And I'm just gonna set it here and wait for Mary until she comes back. So basically all we're going to do, by the time she comes back, it'll be a little bit more room temperature. I'm gonna roll it out and we're gonna cut our cookies, put it on the tray, and then we're gonna bake it for, I think like 11 to 12 minutes, depending on how thick your cookies are. And they should become a golden brown. So on the edges, it should be a little bit golden brown, and that's how you'll know that your cookie is ready. So let me actually go check and see where Mary is. I'm gonna roll it and we're gonna start cutting our cookies. So all you're going to do is you're just going to roll out your dough. Go ahead and push it down.
Oh, I heard a crunch noise.
Okay, I think that's one.
Okay.
Go as you can.
Yep, that looks good. Maybe do more details on there. That can easily come off.
Okay, so I'm just going to place it here. Okay, so they turned out pretty good. And then the ears are fine. This is the front, and then this is the back. Now we're gonna frost it, or wait for it to cool a little bit, and then frost it. And yeah, and we'll be done with the sugar cookies. Alright guys, so we're gonna start frosting our cake. And then once we frost our cake, I'm gonna make some royal icing, which is really easy for the sugar cookies. And then we'll be done with the desserts. So let's go ahead and start frosting our cake. Okay, so I'm about to start making the royal icing, which is really simple to make for the sugar cookies. It's just powdered sugar. You also have to use meringue powder. You can find it at any store. I got this from Amazon Fresh. In the baking aisle, you'll find this. You can even buy it online. And water. And that's it. And gel food coloring if you want to change the color and you don't want to make it white. It's our dog's birthday soon, so I also made her a little bone cookie, and I also made her a number 1. So I'm also going to frost those as well. I think this should be enough for the bunny sugar cookies and for the sugar cookies for our dog. So these are the colors that I ended up making: a light green, blue, pink, and yellow. I thought they were cute pastel colors to do. So I'm going to now go ahead and frost my cookies. And then once I frost my cookies, I will be done with the cake and the cookies. I just need to decorate the cake. I made little Easter eggs, and I'm just going to decorate them and then put them on the cake, and I'll show you guys all the final results at the very end, so stay tuned. So I frosted this one already. All you're going to do is you're just gonna kind of trace the cookie. I'm not a professional at this. I've only done this a few times, but what I've learned is you don't want to go too far out on the edges, because if you do that, then it's going to start spilling off of your cookie, and you don't want that to happen. And then once you have kind of an outline, you can go ahead and fill it in, like so. And once you have a good amount, you don't want too much. Once you have a good amount, you're gonna take a toothpick, and you're just going to kind of spread it around. And then based on how far you're able to spread it, you can see if you need to add more. And then sometimes I even use my finger a little bit just to reshape it if it does end up being too much, or if the cookie is an awkward shape and it doesn't work out. So I'm gonna do a few green ones, a few pink ones, and yellow and blue ones. Thank you guys so much for watching today's vlog. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you plan on making this delicious cake and cookies. I'll also be adding the measurements and instructions in the description box below, so make sure to check that out. The cake and cookies were a major hit. Everyone really liked them. And the thing about this chocolate cake is it's not very heavy, so if you are ever looking for a chocolate cake recipe that's light, not too heavy, not too sweet, this is the perfect one for you. So make sure if you do end up making it, comment down below how it went.